I hope that you have read or will read my introductory letter, but I wanted to create an introductory video. Hopefully I won't be too repetitious. This machine that I am introducing has been in the building process off and on for almost 4 years. At one point I got disgusted and let set for almost a year. I am also pretty sure that I have drawings that are 6 or 7 years old. But the thought process of trying to figure out the most effective way to stimulate neuromuscular development goes back at least 3 decades. Now, if you read the introductory letter, then you know my story about how my vertical jumping ability increased significantly when I decided to become a powerlifter and see how strong I could get in the squat. But then at one point, my jumping ability failed to increase, even though I continued to make significant gains in my strength in the squat. And at the same time, there were tons of people who weren't nearly as strong as I, who had greater jumping ability. These were the athletes that had a greater ability to quickly and explosively activate the muscles that they had. I wanted that neuromuscular ability. It would make me jump higher, make me a better power lifter, and be beneficial in most any athletic endeavor. This machine is what I think is the most logical training tool to improve neuromuscular pathways. I hope you use this site to investigate further, but in a nutshell, this machine allows you to explode through a squat or pressing motion, release the bar and let it travel beyond the normal lockout point. Then the machine catches the bar at its highest point, where you are given immediate feedback as to how far the bar traveled. Then the bar is lowered to you and then released back into your hands or on your back if you're squatting, which allows you to do another repetition. A few months back, I had an interesting conversation with Tom von Black. I became a friend of Tom's through the U.S. All-Around Weightlifting Association and also through our mutual participation in the Highland Games. Tom is a regular contributor to Milo magazine and a lifetime student of the weightlifting game. Well, there was an opportunity for Tom to come to my house, and of course I showed him my machine. Eventually our conversation about explosive training led to Tom telling me that he always liked jump squats. When I explained to him that, in my opinion, the thought of coming down from a jump squat with a weighted bar on your back would prohibit the athlete from performing the lift with maximum intensity, he told me about his variation of the jump squat. He said he had taken his equipment out into the yard to perform a jump squat, where he released the bar at the top of the jump and let it fall behind him into the grass. He was doing exactly what my machine will allow you to do, except for receiving feedback about the height of your jump. It was amazing to me that he thought that this type of exercise was valuable enough to go to all the trouble of moving equipment out into the yard, and then, if he were doing multiple reps, he would have to strip the bar between reps or have several spotters to help him put the bar back into the rack. Not to mention trying to repair the damage to the yard. The purpose of this website is to create interest in my machine and hopefully find a buyer for the patent rights. I believe in the concept and feel that my limited use of the machine during the developmental process has already produced some significant results. If I were a younger man, I would try and start the production process myself. My real hope is that someone will produce this machine and make it available to athletic programs in universities, pro sports, and high schools. I think the financial rewards could be great, and I hope to share in that. But actually, my wife and I just retired and are not depending on any gains from this invention. We would sell outright, but I could also see us selling the rights for a modest amount and some percentage of the gross over a certain number of years. I would also be interested in staying involved in the developmental process and/or marketing of this machine. Keep in mind that the photos you see are of a machine that I built in my garage with a welder, a torch, a bandsaw, a grinder. It was trial and error, and I realize the design is far from a production model. I really feel that a machine more similar to a Smith machine would probably be the model that would be practical, and I am including drawings of how I visualize that. It, of course, would take up much less space than my prototype. I also want to point out that the provisional patent that I have obtained is not a cheap internet deal. I chose a patent attorney who has an athletic background, a former powerlifter and collegiate wrestler, who is part of a reputable Louisville law firm. I feel that he understood the concept very well and did an outstanding job of protecting my machine in the prototype form and also in the Smith's machine form, as well as protecting the whole release and catch concept. I am including all patent information as part of this website. I just want to extend an invitation to use this website to investigate further, and please pass this information on to anyone you feel might be interested. Thank you.